starters for Los Angeles. CP3 at point with Redick there at the backcourt. Blake Griffin down low and DeAndre Jordan. And it's Dudley in at the 3, the small forward. And for San Antonio, Parker and Danny Green are your 1 and your 2. Leonard and Duncan are the pair at forward. And it's Splitter in at the 5, down low. Jordan with a screen on Green. Paul for 3. That is good.
Poor job defensively, giving him such a clear look at that three-point shot.
On offense, here are the Spurs. It's a 3-point game. Leonard sets a screen for Green. Parker off the pick from Duncan. Back to Green, uncovered. And that one goes long.
You know, DeAndre Jordan last year led the league in field goal percentage at 64%, but that was a percentage that was better than his free throw percentage. You want to get that flip, and hopefully Jordan will be able to do that.
Now here's Redick after the miss from Green. 5 to shoot. Free throw line jump shot, no good.
Major defensive lapse right there. And he's not a player you can leave open for a jump shot. You've got to stay attached to him. They're lucky he couldn't punish them for it.
Leonard with a screen on Paul. Green kicks to Parker. Here's Splitter. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. And for DeAndre Jordan, it's strange. His shooting motion at the line looks good, but Steve, last year just 38% from the stripe.
Well, it's got to be mental, Kevin, because you watch the way he shoots. You know, it's not a beautiful stroke, but it's not broken by any means. I think it's all about finding a way to be comfortable at the free throw line. Some players never reach that point.
He's off on the first.
Well, if you're going to learn from someone, you might as well take some lessons from Tim Duncan. That's what Thiago Splitter has done in San Antonio, really kind of growing up under the tutelage of one of the great players of all time.
Good on the second free throw. And Splitter taken 28th by the Spurs way back in the 2007 draft, but they had to wait 3 seasons, Clark, for him to come over from Spain. And as Greg Popovich was saying just this past season, he's finally showing what he can do because he's been healthy.
Yeah, agreed, Kevin, and I think it was a wait worth making,
yes,
quite honestly. I mean, one of the premier backup centers in the NBA the last 3 seasons, and he earned himself a nice payday with his new contract, too. Guys, that's simply superb. Ball pressure, a run out, and then a dunk in transition.
Exactly, Clark, what they wanted, the aggressive defense to lead to.
Yeah, points in transition.
Yeah, that's why you want to make the other team feel uncomfortable handling the ball, because you can get easy points out of it at the other end.
Redick dishes to Paul. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Paul's got 5 now.
Beautiful cut to the hoop. He's getting anything he wants here already.
Outside, Green. There's a good screen. That's a 2 from Parker. A picture-perfect screenplay, and the jumper's good.
That's just a case of 2 teammates working perfectly together. One setting the screen and the other using it to get that separation.
And they call an illegal screen here.
Yeah, good call there. You can tell he was moving into the defender when he tried to set the screen.
Yeah, lowered that shoulder, dipped right into him, too. I mean, he was going to be called on that foul either way.
And the Clippers making a change here. Mullins has checked in. Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Kevin, I briefly spoke with Doc Rivers. I asked him what they needed to key in on defensively, and he said, well, we've got to limit penetration by Tony Parker. He's really the, quote, head of the snake, and with his floater, he doesn't need to get all the way to the rim to score. It's crucial that we do our best to keep him outside the lane. Guys, that's no easy assignment. We'll see how much success they have defensively.
Always great to hear from you, Doris. Kicks it to Splitter. The dish now to Duncan. Duncan right side. And another basket for San Antonio.
4 or 5 shots have dropped for them already. Not a bad way to get things started.
Parker against Paul. To the left wing. Dudley the pass to Griffin. And Dudley kicks to Paul. Paul left side. And the defense really pressing up on him. Made that a tough shot. Parker outside. Green against Paul. Outside, Green. Draw up the pick from Splitter. Off the screen. And it's San Antonio with another.
Great job of utilizing that screen and finding space to knock down the jumper. Good basketball.
Clippers trail by 4. Al Paul. 5 points in the game. And the shot is good. Paul's got 7 points.
And his shots are dropping right now. This quarter has been very kind to him.
Outside, Green. Leonard sets a screen for Green. And it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for him. The Clippers have gotten 4 of 6 field goal attempts to drop in the first quarter. Griffin a screen on Duncan. The drive by Paul. Blanketed by the D. He fights to the rim for the layup. 9 points in the game so far.
Coach Popovich was fined last season for sitting out his top players in a nationally televised matchup against the Heat. I certainly understand the league's posture there, and it was a lot said about it. Yet, for a veteran team like the Spurs with championship aspirations, I understand resting key players during the course of the regular season.
Mullins. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Spurs.
You got to like the consistency they're showing with that mid-range shot.
You know, another factor in their offense so far has been their ability to convert and score off turnovers.
That's good from B.J. Mullins. The Spurs making a switch here. Diaw's checked in. Both free throws good from Mullins. And the Spurs with possession here. Right wing. And Diaw kicks to Green. He dishes it to Diaw. Leonard attacking. Just 5 on the clock. And Green gets it to go. Here's Paul. 9 points in the game so far. Paul gets a screen from Griffin. Right wing. Dudley dishes to Griffin. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Using his post move to get the 2 points. Griffin's got his second basket.
Defense pretty much helpless there, stopping that layup. I think too much of a mismatch in terms of height.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game.
The Spurs last year were as tough as always in San Antonio. Hard not to beat when you win 50 games every season. Ended up with a 35-6 record at home, which was good for the 3rd best in the league.
San Antonio leading. Parker kicks to Duncan. Feeds to Diaw. Outside Leonard. To the left wing. Shot clock at 6. Here's Parker. No good. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. And with the Spurs, they are just so consistent every time they take the court. You always, Steve, expect them to get a win when they play in this building.
And the two teams with better home records in the NBA were the Nuggets and the Heat, both of whom had huge win streaks. But as you said, it's the Spurs' consistency every time out that lets them pile up these home wins without anyone really thinking much about it.
Ties it up, and this next one could give them the lead.
The difference between being a dominant or a good team and mediocrity is the ability to win on the road. The Clippers secured their spot as one of the NBA's elite teams last season because they showed the ability to get it done on the road.
Antoine Jameson's checked in for Blake Griffin. And that one falls, and that puts him up by 1 point. And the Clippers with one of the better road records in the Western Conference last year, going 24-17. Steve actually tied for the second most road wins in the West, only behind the Thunder.
And believe it or not, Kevin, it's the first time the Clippers franchise has ever had a winning record on the road. Actually, I do believe that when you think back to Clipper history. But I'll tell you what, it's a team on the rise and a very interesting club to watch.
You know, you survey other point guards in the league and ask them who their toughest assignment is, and a lot of them will tell you it's Tony Parker. I mean, his ability to weave in and out at the speed he does just drives would-be defenders mad over the course of 4 quarters. Parker is always in attack mode.
And Clark, you mentioned the penetration ability of Tony Parker. He really has become the focal point of the Spurs drive and kick offense, Steve. So fun to watch.
Yeah, you talk about his speed and quickness, but it's really all about the overall skill level, the ability to finish it in the lane, the knockdown jump shooting, the free throw shooting also improved. But it's incredible how well-rounded Parker has become.
Is he the fastest point guard, you think, in the NBA?
I would say yes.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Yeah, that's 5 of their last 6 baskets inside the lane. They have really established themselves inside.
Now here's Ginobili. Back to Parker. Bonner kicks to Ginobili. A shot. Great D that time from J.J. Redick. The Clippers in the lead. Pass to Paul. And there's the feed to Crawford. Pass to Jamison. Crawford dishes to Jamison. Puts it up from 12. And Bonner pulls it down. Spurs have gone 7 of 11 from the field to begin the game. Ginobili off a pick from Diaw. Ginobili with the ball. Now guarded by Redick. Diaw the pass to Ginobili. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. They get it back. And Leonard gets it to go. Leonard's got his second bucket of the game to go. Several lead changes going on here in the early portion of this game.
Yeah, but neither team really able to jump ahead.
Yeah, 5 times already the lead has changed.
Back to Paul. Fires from deep. And another 3 for the Clippers.
The more touches he gets, the more this lead will grow. He has just been unconscious this quarter.
It's Ginobili on the wing, guarded by Redick. Leonard kicks to Bonner. And it's San Antonio with another.
And he should thank the defense for those 2 points. Really, nobody paid him any mind there.
Los Angeles has gone 2 of 2 from 3-point range here in the first quarter. Paul kicks to Crawford. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. Paul's got 3 assists now in this one. San Antonio trailing here. Parker outside. Dishes it to Ginobili. From past the arc. They get it back. Here's Bonner. And he gets the bucket. Bonner's got the game tied up here for the Spurs.
Another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively so far.
Yeah, I think that could really set things up well the rest of the game. Pound the ball inside and then let your perimeter players play off your bigs.
And the Clippers decide to take their first timeout here. Los Angeles making a switch here. Jordan's checked in. Spurs on defense. Paul outside with the floater, and count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
Well, 6 for 8 now with that one, so there's no slowing him down here in the first quarter.
And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for the Clippers.
Guys, their penetration has been outstanding. I mean, it's actually been great. They're really finding those holes in the defense.
And the other thing we're seeing is great ball movement. We're seeing a lot of good offensive execution, ball movement, player movement, setting up assists.
Here's Bellinelli. He kicks it to Parker. They set the pick. Shot off the pick. Jordan with the block. Crawford outside. Shot from 16. Again, Los Angeles.
Everybody on the floor is hot. Incredible stuff here in the early stages.
Tell you what, both teams playing downhill. Who's going to blink first?
Now here's Parker. He has 6. And Bellinelli kicks to Parker. Three-pointer. The shot by Bellinelli. No good. Los Angeles leading by 5. Guys, we've seen some excellent offensive output.
Yes, sir, fellas. They've had it going on big time.
Big time is right, Clark. A lot of momentum here offensively.
Jordan. Rebound, San Antonio. Bonner's got his 3rd rebound tonight. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
Parker kicks to Diallo. It's Ginobili on the wing. Pass to Parker. Shot clock at 5. It's taken away by Collison. And now it's Collison running. He can go all the way. Throws down off the coast-to-coast drive.
Boy, how's that for a quick possession?
Yeah, it sure was. I mean, he didn't waste any time getting down the court, did he?
Spurs trail by 7. The pass to Ginobili. Ginobili left side. Into Diaz. Stolen by Jamison. Shot and game clock separated by 5. The drive by Paul. The kick out to Collison. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. Crawford against Ginobili. He feeds it to Bonner. To end the run. That falls. Nice feed that time for Manu Ginobili. Bonner's got 6.
Crafty pass work there, getting it down low for the easy deuce.
And we reach the end of the first quarter. Clippers lead by 5. Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio. And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And taking a look at Los Angeles' performance here, Clark and Steve, what have they been doing or not doing?
And you could see early on, guys, they were going to go inside and try to establish their offense in the paint area. That's exactly what they've done.
And I think that's exactly where they should continue to attack moving forward, Steve.
Down low, it's Duncan and Splitter. Bellinelli is out there with Green. And it's Ginobili in at the 3. And that's who's in the game for the Spurs. Clippers leading by 5. Outside Collison. Outside Griffin. Throws it down as the official calls the foul. It may be a 3-point play. That one on Ginobili.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that 2-hand throwdown.
Well, now's the time to do it. Keep attacking that rim.
Griffin is doing amazing things on the court and off the court. I mean, his charisma and sense of humor really have made him one of the more marketable players in the entire league.
Going back to Griffin, he spent a summer interning with an LA-based comedy website I'm reading here. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he has a love for comedy, and, playing in LA, that's a great opportunity for him to work on the entertainment side of things. And Of course, he does have a real job with the Clippers. He's got to focus there.
He does. You know, but those commercials he's in are funny.
They are good.
Yeah, they're good. And that one falls for Bellinelli.
And what an amazing run it was for the Spurs last year in the postseason. You know, swept the Lakers, survived Golden State, and then dismantled Memphis on their way to the NBA Finals. And then, of course, were seconds away from another championship banner.
And he can't hit the second. Well, getting back to the Spurs, they look better and better as they went deeper into the playoffs, Clark. Heat were thought to be the heavy favorites at the start of the NBA postseason. But when they met in the finals, thoughts on who would win, I think, were pretty much split.
Yeah, and eventually, you know, this was one heck of a series because the Spurs not only had experience and talent, but they had multiple options offensively and did such a terrific job sharing the ball. They took the Miami Heat to the limit, but at the end of the day, it came down to LeBron James and Dwayne Wade rising to the challenge.
And a chance here to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Doris Burke. Hi, Doris.
Guys, Doc Rivers, the new head coach of the Los Angeles Clippers, said after last season, quote, there were times last year when they were the best team in the league. So I clearly think this is an extremely talented basketball team. But can we do that now in the postseason as opposed to just the regular season? That'll be the true test, gentlemen.
Yeah, championship mentality, Doris. Good point. Thanks. And DeAndre Jordan throws it down.
Phenomenal alley-oop slam right there, guys.
They're taking advantage, Clark, of a team that looks lost out there.
Yeah, this is threatening to get kind of ugly out here.
Spurs trail by 6. Here's Bellinelli. Ginobili outside. Kicks it to Bellinelli. Shoots the 3. Jordan with the rebound. The Clippers have gone 2 of 5 from the field here in the second quarter, shooting 40%. Collison dishes to Griffin. Collison with a screen on Duncan. Out to the right wing. On its way from Dudley for 2. Off the left rim and out.
Awesome defense. I mean, he'll hit those unless you're right in his grill.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
Here's Duncan. Can't hit. Griffin with some nice D. Clippers leading by 6. Crawford with the ball. Now guarded by Splitter. Left side Collison. And Griffin with the score. The assist by Collison. 8 points for Blake Griffin.
He got a little room at the rim and laid it in. Great play.
San Antonio calls timeout. At this point of the game, always important to stay focused. And while the coach goes over the game plan, these players are getting a much-needed chance to rehydrate and refuel with Gatorade. Hey, guys, we know the drill well. All 3 of us drinking the Gatorade, too.
Yeah, no question. Right. I mean, Kevin, people have no idea the fatigue that can set in during a telecast. And so it's important for us to stay hydrated all game long.
Clark, you're always hydrated.
Yeah, I try to be, but it's usually with a combination of H2O and Gatorade.
I love Gatorade. And look at Steve, got the Gatorade shirt on.
Yeah, he's really immersed in the Gatorade.
Yeah, gotta love it.
Here's Green, following the basket by Blake Griffin. Shoots from 14, and it's in after a nice bounce off the right side. That's now 8 points for Tim Duncan.
Such a difficult shot to defend, that turnaround.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Guys, over that last break, I listened to Doc Rivers address his team. He mentioned the need for more use of the pick and roll. It's a basic component of their offense that he said he hasn't seen nearly enough of. Maybe making those early adjustments will give them time to judge their effectiveness by halftime. We'll soon find out, Kevin.
All right, Doris, thanks. Now here's Leonard. Following the miss by Griffin. Leonard the pass to Duncan. And that one's good. And now just a 4-point Clipper lead.
Guys, he shot a very good percentage today, and they've needed it.
Collison kicks to Mullins. The shot's good. Collison making the play. Mullins got 8.
The easiest way to do it sometimes is with the bounce pass.
Now Bellinelli. The dish now to Green. The stupendous finish in traffic. He's got 5.
Well, he wasn't fazed at all by the bigger man on him, and on the low block, I thought he might be.
You know, Steve, I thought maybe he'd prefer to bring him out to the perimeter, but whatever works, go to it.
Griffin kicks to Dudley. Pulls it up. And count it from 19 feet away. And the Clippers lead by 6. Spurs have gone 4 of 7 from the field in this second quarter so far. And Bellinelli kicks to Duncan. Duncan right side. And another basket for San Antonio.
Well, it looks like he's finally found his footing in this game. His first quarter was a real struggle, but he's gotten it going now.
Collison dishes to Griffin. Outside Collison. Back to Griffin. Clock at 6. A rebound by the Spurs.
All the defender had to do there was just stay close to him, and he did.
And Bellinelli kicks to Green. He dishes it to Splitter. Here's Bellinelli, headed by Mullins. With the teardrop, he lays it in. Now just a 2-point Los Angeles lead.
Looked like he may have been showboating a little bit at the end of that one.
Collison kicks to Griffin. Feeds to Dudley. Back to Griffin. It's rebounded by Leonard.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
The shot goes down and gets this game back to even. Leonard's got 6.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting in the paint and keep scoring points. Keep it going.
Yeah, not a lot you can do defensively when they continue to get the ball inside and get these easy shots.
Los Angeles making a switch here. The Clippers have gone 5 of 12 from the field here in the second. Griffin sets the screen for Collison. The feed to Mullins. Excellent defense there from Dion.
Well, one thing that Byron Mullins added last year was a three-point shot, and he wasn't shy at all about trying it out. I mean, it was still a work in progress, and right now I think it's a part of his game.
And to go back to Mullins, not the best percentage from outside, but he is a spot-up big man.
Well, if he can get his three-point percentage up a little higher, along with his decent rebounding, I think they found something in terms of a player who can be a consistent threat in that front court.
And he can't get the first one.
Boy, you look at the Clippers, and they clearly are one of the most entertaining teams in the NBA. One of the outstanding team shows you'll see. They have fun, they're up and down, but they're a hard-working group, and a lot of that you have to attribute to their leader, Chris Paul.
Antoine Jameson's checked in for Los Angeles. So he comes up empty at the line. Well, Clark, as you were taking a look at the Clippers, they are a fun team, an amazing product so far with big names all around. But, you know, Steve, they've got to work hand in hand to make sure they're always at their best and not take things for granted.
Well, I think it's still a team that's a work in progress. You've got a young front line in Griffin and DeAndre Jordan, great point guard in Paul, but the new additions have helped, and I think it'll be interesting to see if this team can gel during the playoffs.
He hit a three in the first, but so far has been unable to capitalize here in this quarter.
It's Crawford with the drive. And he gets it to go. Crawford's got 6 points.
Boy, they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing that ball into the paint. Smash mouth basketball.
Yeah, and it's a strategy that has served them well in this opening half, Clark.
Now here's Green. 5 points in the game. That doesn't go either for Green.
It just hasn't been a very good day for him, guys. They need him to start burying some of those.
Here's Paul. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
You know, with how dominant he's been since entering the league, we can start to wonder where Paul will fall in terms of all-time greats when you talk about point guard. When it's all said and done, I think he'll be right in that group of the best point guards to ever play the game.
The Clippers shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight. Free throw, good, Paul. We talk about Chris Paul's place among the great point guards in league history. The advanced stats community make a compelling case to put Paul right at the top of the list. Now, this is going to rankle some people, I think.
Well, it's all about efficiency when you want to talk advanced stats. And so that means how often you get to the line, when are you turning it over, what your shooting percentages are. And Paul has really good numbers across the board. And at the free throw line, it's all about consistency with him. Same routines, same stroke.
Draw off the pick from Bonner. The shot is off. Jamison with the defensive effort. Clippers leading by 6. And Redick kicks to Crawford. Sinks that one from the post. Crawford's got 8 points.
And what jumps out at you guys, the assist totals. They have been dominant in that category. It's the ball movement, the player movement, great rhythm to their offense.
Clearly seems to me a different mindset between these teams. I'll tell you what, the way he's been going this quarter, guys, they're going to need somebody else to pick up the slack.
Cashes in for a double-digit lead. He's got 10.
Really not hard to see why they're giving up points on this run. I mean, they've just given them too many looks inside.
Yeah, I mean, they're just getting pounded in there. The defense not offering much resistance. They've got to force the ball back out to the perimeter.
San Antonio calls timeout.
Well, Jamal has always been able to provide a spark of offense in a hurry, but last year he was a force unto his own coming off the bench. A terrific mid-level acquisition for the Clippers.
Jordan, he's checked in for Byron Mullins. Diaw, the pass to Parker. Dishes to Diaw. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Ginobili kicks to Diaw. 6 to shoot. Passes it to Bonner. And stolen by Jordan. Paul against Ginobili. Back to Paul from past the arc. It's hauled in by Diaw. And for Crawford with the Clippers, his best shooting since the 2009-2010 season, Steve, when he won the 6th Man of the Year award.
Well, and he came close to winning it again last season with the Clippers.
Sure did.
He's a guy who can create his shot as well as anybody in the league. And the ability to hit tough shots. He's the kind of player you want at the end of games who can create something out of nothing and hit winning shots. Yeah, and guys, it's his consistent shooting that's really helped get his team into a position they're in right now.
Ginobili dishes to Diaw. Parker up top, defended by Paul. Parker's shot is off.
You see the defenders get out of his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the bucket, but not that time.
Paul passes to Crawford. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. Paul's got 5 assists in the game. Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin.
Ginobili outside. Back to Parker. Crawford with the steal. He kicks to Redick. Paul outside. Into Jordan. Leonard with the steal. Right side, Leonard. Pass to Bonner. Back to Leonard. Parker outside. And the pass to Diaw. Just 5 on the clock. He feeds it to Leonard. And it's good with time running down on the shot clock. Leonard's got 4 points now in the quarter.
start hitting a few of those mid-range shots, and it can open up your whole game.
Paul kicks to Crawford. That's good. Crawford's got the lead up to 13 now for the Clippers.
Boy, it's been a poor defensive effort. When that ball has gone inside into the post, they've been in trouble.
Yep, points in the paint clearly going against them now.
Now here's Ginobili. Cannot hit. Great D that time from Redick. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Crawford with the ball. Picked up by Ginobili. Jamison kicks to Jordan. The drive by Paul takes the three. And Antoine Jamison, the bucket on the assist by Paul. Jamison's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Paul against Parker. Out left to the wing. Bonner dishes to Parker. That's good. Parker's got 8 points. That'll do it for the first half. Clippers ahead as they end the third quarter on a 20-6 run. And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Coach, you're going to have to climb a bit of a hill here in the second half. What are you telling your guys they need to do to turn this thing around?
I think we just moved the ball a little bit. We were just on the dribble a little bit too much, and they've got a lot of pressure out there, so the ball's got to move.
Coach, thanks for the time. Gentlemen, back to you at the table.
All right, Doris, thank you. And folks, make sure to stay tuned in for halftime, and we'll be back right after that.
And now.
Quality shot after quality shot. And that'll wrap things up for me here in the studio. Second half is just around the corner. Thanks so much for stopping by.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. It's been a clinic by Chris Paul.
And all of a sudden tonight, he's become their big assist man. I mean, his passing was the key to their offense in that first half, not something you always see.
And that's not a role he usually plays, and one I'm not sure he's comfortable in, but they've needed him to make some plays today, and to his credit, he's done it.
And the Clippers, looking at who they've got, Redick and Dudley filling out the perimeter. Blake Griffin down low and DeAndre Jordan, and it's Paul in at the point. Now here's Parker. Paul with the defensive effort.
Boy, I tell you what, guys, he's an extremely strong finisher. I'm surprised he wasn't able to power that through the defense.
Griffin passes to Redick. Pass to Dudley from past the arc, and the shot is good. Dudley's got the first points of the third quarter up on the board for the Clippers.
Well, I think this is one of the more amazing stats in sports when you think about it. No matter the season or the roster, the Spurs just seem to find ways to win 50 games. They've done it 14 straight seasons now, which is off the charts.
There you go. This is the time to get aggressive. Get to the basket, draw fouls, stop the clock, try to complete a comeback.
And let's now go to the sideline. We'll catch up here with Doris Burke. Doris?
Hey, Kevin. Well, for the Los Angeles Clippers, the pieces seem to be coming together for a deep run. It all started with the acquisition of Coach Doc Rivers, who was also given a lead role in basketball decision-making. Follow that up with the trade for J.J. Redick and Jared Dudley. That gives the team great shooting on the wings. And both players expressed their excitement to play for the Clips. Guys, this once downtrodden franchise has become a destination.
Winning situation, Doris. Thanks. Here's Parker. After the made shot from Jordan, Parker kicks to Splitter. 3 on the clock. Fires from the wing. Another shot. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
That's his first personal foul.
1 And Clark, as you said, the Spurs last season hitting 50 wins for the 14th consecutive season. By the way, that's an NBA record. Second closest were the Lakers with 12 straight, Steve, from 79 to 91.
Yeah, 58 wins last season for San Antonio. Greg Popovich calls it corporate knowledge, just the consistency that comes with the experience of the group. And they've been together so long, particularly that core, that I think it allows the Spurs to really kind of cruise at times during the regular season.
Good on the second free throw.
I tell you, Tim Duncan turned back the clock last season, didn't he? One of his best in years, and one of his best seasons ever when it comes to blocking shots. For a guy who doesn't get a whole lot of elevation, it's his timing that allows him to be a shot blocker without bouncing real high.
Kind of rare to see him come up empty on a wide open look.
Parker against Dudley. Duncan down low. Soft touch off the glass. Duncan's got 15. You know, back to Duncan, Steve, you could make a credible argument that with the exception of Larry Bird, no player in NBA history has been more successful while blessed with fewer hops. I mean, I don't know if you'd say he's athletic.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, he's not real athletic, but, man, the skill, the savvy, just the incredible knowledge of the game. One of the great players of all time.
Just such a pro.
Yeah.
Just such a pro.
You know, he can be a little hesitant near the rim. We saw it there. If the defense offers just a little bit of resistance, he doesn't take it up quite strong enough.
Now here's Paul. 19 points in the game. Kicks to Dudley. Back to Paul. And again, the Clippers good for two.
How about the passing? They're moving the ball without any thought, without any agenda.
It's hard to overstate all the points they've scored on assists today. Beautiful to watch.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over.
Jared Dudley out of Boston College in his 7th season already. A smart vet who knows where to be defensively. He knocks down shots. I like his game. He's a winning player because he does a lot of little things and is always ready to step into his role.
Spurs trail by 18. All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Kevin, Doc Rivers was just addressing the plan with his team. They need to get the ball into the post. He made that abundantly clear. Their entry passes haven't nearly been sharp enough for him. He also wants them using a fundamental offensive approach. Specifically, he'd like to see them running the pick and roll as often as they can. Perhaps the rest of the second half will look different after those adjustments, Kevin.
Thanks, Doris. Los Angeles calls timeout. And for Jared Dudley, Steve, you had a chance to be around him in your time in Phoenix.
Yeah, traded for him. That was the Raja Bell, Boris Diaw for Jason Richardson and Dudley trade. Pretty good deal for both teams, really. But Dudley came into his own when he arrived in Phoenix, developed that three-point shot, but had always been a guy respected for his defense, for his work ethic, and his basketball IQ.
Former ACC Player of the Year. Now here's Paul. Now Griffin inside. Out of bounds, Clippers ball as the Clippers keep possession. We talk about big-time career assists. These are the players all-time with the gift of assist. And you look at this list of the all-time leaders, you're looking at the legends of the game, the greats of the game, past and present.
Yeah, names like Mark Jackson, Jason Kidd, John Stockton. Of course, they're not just great passers, but you look at the longevity. I mean, that's an achievement in its own right.
Now here's Jordan. Nice D from Thiago Splitter. Spurs trail by 18. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Paul dishes to Dudley. And looks like the illegal pick was set. Yep, that's right. That'll get their attention.
Well, good idea setting that screen, but the execution wasn't there.
No, it sure wasn't. I mean, you want it to be hard, but it also has to be legal.
Byron Mullins is checked in for the Clippers. For San Antonio, they've gone 2 of 6 from the field here in the third. Paul against Parker. Outside, Green. Just 5 on the clock. It's blocked. Paul with the ball. 21 points in the game. Griffin a screen on Parker. Here's Paul. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Well, I'm sure Chris Paul not happy with how last season ended. He's hungry for a title. But a franchise best in wins for the Clippers, and for CP3, another great season statistically, I think he's got to take some solace in that.
And that one falls for Paul. And for Chris Paul last season, a career low in minutes with a great backup behind him and Eric Bledsoe.
Yeah, even when Paul missed those 12 games with an injury, the Clippers did fine without him. But now Bledsoe is on to Phoenix after the trade. Darren Collison steps into that backup role, and we'll see how he's able to fare.
He hits one and misses one, each at the line.
You know, Paul is playing really well. 22 points, and what a game he's had passing the ball, too.
Yeah, to watch him spread the ball around, get everybody involved is a thing of beauty.
Now here's Duncan. 15 points in the game. Parker off the pick from Splitter. It's Parker with the drive. Can't connect from short range.
Boy, he has been struggling mightily in this quarter, guys.
True. He really seems to have tightened up a bit for whatever reason. He looks tight.
Paul with the buckets. Paul's got 24.
Little touch of class there, guys. The end of that play with the finger roll.
Parker outside. Leonard the pass to Parker. Duncan against Griffin. The drive by Duncan. That's good. Duncan's got 17. And here is Paul. He's got 24. Paul gets a screen from Mullins. Wide open. Good, and Paul gets the assist. He's got 12.
An excellent display of passing out there, fellas. I mean, 8 of their last 10 points have been assisted on.
Well, they continue to find the open man and play unselfishly. This is true team basketball we're seeing.
And Green gets it to go.
Good look. He'll make that one most of the time.
Here's Paul. Paul, right side. Here's the lob to the hoop. Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. Down low and taken away by Paul. Paul left side. The dish now to Mullins. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist. Mullins got 14.
What a sweet assist by CP3.
Parker with it. He's picked up by Paul. Outside, Green. Here's Leonard. From outside, off the mark. Clippers leading by 21. Paul with the ball. Now defended by Splitter. Leonard against Paul. Mullins kicks to Griffin. 6 on the shot clock. Another one falls for the Clippers.
Make it 10 of their last 12 points coming off assists.
Wow, are they moving the ball right now? They look good.
Now here's Parker. He's got 10. Kicks it out to Leonard. And it's good on the assist by Parker. And 11 points for Leonard.
Well, I think when you notice one of his tendencies and specialties, really, it's his ability to shoot the ball from the corner. He always seems to be drifting to that area, so proficient from that spot.
And there's a good reason for that, Steve. Usually he's going to knock them down from over there. I mean, we've seen it more than a few times happen that way. You know, you get the kind of love Blake Griffin has gotten for dunking on everybody in the league. It doesn't go over well with your opponents. I noticed last season teams started to get a lot more physical with him because of that.
That free throw good from Griffin. And with hard fouls becoming a topic of discussion last season for LeBron James and certainly for Blake Griffin, Steve, what's your take? Does Griffin change his style of play? Does the league step in to protect players like him? How do you view that?
Well, the league already does protect everybody. I mean, you can't commit a hard foul these days without it being called flagrant. So, I mean, I think Griffin is fine. He just needs to continue to improve. And what he can do more than anything is develop a low post game that would translate into the playoffs.
You know, for so long, the Clippers were on the bottom rung of the ladder in the West, almost were a joke in the conference, but their fortunes have changed dramatically in the past few years, and now they're a team that's respected and feared.
Here's Bellinelli. And Ginobili. Here we go. And again, it's San Antonio with a three.
I like the offensive awareness to exploit that lack of coverage on that play.
Well, Clark, you said the Clippers have really flipped the Western Conference upside down over the last few years, and you're right. They have done it with, Steve, style, to say the least. They've got now also a very deep team.
Well, a 35-17 record against the West was enough to secure them their division and advantage in the first round. You have to remember, too, that they were without some of their big stars last season, so if they can stay healthy and really take advantage of what they have, this could be a lot of fun.
Parker's shot is off.
And it seems like nothing is falling for him this quarter. He's really out of his rhythm.
And it's Paul penetrating. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in. Paul's got 7 now in this quarter.
Brought back the finger roll. That's a nice finesse move to pull off with the defense all over him.
Back to Parker. Launches a three. And Bellinelli kicks to Parker. Spurs working the ball around now. Ginobili dishes to Bonner. Ginobili, that's good.
He's one of the best in the league at that. Even with just a tiny sliver, he always seems to find a way to get it up and in.
Paul passes to Jameson. Paul kicks to Crawford. Misses from short range. The Spurs have gone 7 of 15 from the field here in the third quarter. Ginobili attacking. He dishes it to Bellinelli. No good with the triple.
Boy, that's a surprising miss right there. He usually feasts on those wide open opportunities.
Collison kicks to Paul. Feeds it to Crawford. 1:51 left in the third quarter of the game. Off with the layup. Here's Ginobili. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot two. Antoine Jameson picks one up.
You know, you look at Ginobili, and he's slender and doesn't scream athleticism, but he is nimble, and nobody in the league is more of a contortionist going to the basket than Manu.
And the first one at the line is good. The Manu Ginobili, Clark, as you mentioned, an unconventional driver, a left-hander that throws guys off.
Yeah, it's kind of a herky-jerky type maneuver, but, it's that side step. We call it the Euro step. Might as well be called the Manu step these days. James Harden copied it from Ginobili, but it's so hard to stay in front of him.
So he gets them both.
Hey, I think we all knew that the Clippers were good last year, but we really took notice when they rattled off those 17 wins in a row in December. That was a franchise record, which had previously been 11, and that's when the league really took notice.
Crawford's shot is good.
Had so much space there. The defense really not showing him the respect. You can see his eyes get wide.
Parker kicks to Diaw. Diaw gets a screen from Parker. The three. And Ginobili with the three. Ginobili's got 7 points here in this quarter. Well, it was the year of the win streak last season with Miami doing what they did and Denver getting hot as well. But Steve, the Clippers had the first lengthy win streak and turned some heads earlier in the season.
Yeah, what was that, about 17 games in a row they won? And I thought that kind of established the Clippers in the West, put a little fear in the rest of the conference, and gave L.A. a swagger that I thought helped them get through the rest of the season.
Now here's Parker after the miss from Bellinelli. Parker dishes to Bellinelli. The feed to Diaw. Goes back up. And it's the Clippers with the rebound. Jordan's got 6 rebounds in the game. Here's Paul. No good. And San Antonio will go the other way with it. Ginobili off a pick from Diaw. It's Ginobili with the drive. Leonard kicks to Parker. Dishes it to Bellinelli. Shoots. And good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim. Bellinelli's got 8 points. And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. The Clippers on top, leading by 17. Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, you're watching 2K Sports. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. And while we can now, let's take a look at today's State Farm assist of the game.
Well, tremendous point guard play, but that's nothing new coming from him. This is what you expect. The gorgeous feed there.
Clippers leading by 17. Ginobili and Leonard on the wings. Duncan out there with Boris Diaw, and it's Bellinelli in at the 1. And that's who's in the game for the Spurs.
They can't afford to give him that kind of look.
Well, it came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you got to fight over the top of that.
Now here's Ginobili. Bellinelli off the pick from Diaw, and there's the whistle. Illegal screen.
He went a decent amount of time before his first turnover there. It's really been a good, safe stretch of basketball from him to this point.
Splitters checked in for San Antonio. Here's Collison. Left side Collison. Duncan with the block. Here's Leonard. Passes it to Bellinelli. They get it again. Splitter. The shot is off. Los Angeles has gone 6 of 11 when they've taken the three-point shot tonight. Very respectable. The shot by Redick, no good.
I tell you, the defense was right there, just waiting, doing a nice job of anticipating that play.
Steve, every team needs tough interior defense to be successful.
Had a pretty good look at the basket, but defensively they did a nice job rotating, forcing the miss.
Collison with it, now guarded by Splitter. Leonard with the steal. Ginobili the pass to Bellinelli. He kicks to Leonard. Shot from the wing. Jump shot is good. We've gone about a minute and a half into the fourth quarter. Collison off the pick from Griffin. Griffin sets the screen for Collison. Loses the defender with the screen and drills the jumper. And the Clippers lead by 19. For San Antonio, they've gone 1 of 4 since the end of the third quarter. Now Bellinelli. Duncan outside. To the inside, and Bellinelli kicks to Leonard. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Jordan with the rebound. Jordan's got 9 rebounds in the game, getting it done. Redick dishes to Dudley. Tim Duncan with the rebound. Duncan's got 5 rebounds tonight, and so it's San Antonio with it, trailing by 19. Splitter with the ball. It's deflected and stolen by Redick. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Well, once a shooter, always a shooter. J.J. Redick, one of the great marksmen of all time at Duke in the college game, and it's kept on rolling here in the NBA. He's got deep range on his 3, can spot up and shoot from anywhere, and also put the ball on the floor a couple times and create a shot inside.
Great shot is right, and like you said, not only threes, but Steve, any shot where you give Redick a chance to set his feet and get a clear view of the hoop, his shot form is just too consistent for him to miss. He's one of those players who works on that just so diligently. You know he's going to find a degree of success every time out there. And the Spurs making a change here. Green's checked in. And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
The Spurs would end up as the second seed in the West and were right in the hunt for being the top seed for the majority of last season. But one reason they fell short was that they just weren't as good as they needed to be during in-conference games.
Here is Splitter. No good. Griffin with some nice D. Duncan with the bucket.
And he just used his height that time down low. That's going to be pretty hard to defend against.
Clippers leading by 19 points. Going back to the Spurs, they did well against the West, but Steve didn't come close to matching the win totals of every other top team in the West.
Yeah, they would end the season with a 33-19 conference record, which, is pretty good, but still only 5th best in the West. It shows you how strong the Western Conference was a year ago, particularly at the top.
Pass to Redick. Griffin against Duncan. The jump hook, and it doesn't even draw iron. Spurs trail by 19. Ginobili up top. He's covered by Collison. Ginobili the pass to Duncan. Back to Ginobili. 6 on the shot clock. The pass to Duncan. Shot's good on the assist by Ginobili. 21 points for Tim Duncan.
Boy, they are just destroying them in the paint.
You could say that again, Steve. The defenders just aren't aggressive enough down low.
Jordan inside. He's against Splitter. Jordan's shot is off. Ginobili kicks to Splitter. He feeds it to Duncan. Green left side. There's the dish to Splitter. Griffin grabs the board. Clippers leading by 17. Left side Collison. Kicks it to Redick. Pass to Griffin. Tries it from 9. And good. Got the English that time as it falls. And the Clippers lead by 19. Ginobili kicks to Splitter. He dishes it to Green. Lots of room. And that is good.
As long as they keep spraying them from deep, we're going to have ourselves one exciting thing.
Well, it took them a while, but they're finally starting to get some rhythm offensively on the outside.
Now, here's
the first time, the fight is over.
The shot is good. Dudley's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a nice look.
あとは今回の続ける、また見逃せない、WBA、見た目とのっていう声も期待が全然かめましたよね。ただチャーロ戦の前からボクシングの関係者やコアの
Outside Collison
tried to find a way in, countered him and clipped him.
And
end the fistic proceedings after.
Outside Griffin.
And here comes Castano.
And that one's good. Griffin's got 10 points here in the second half.
They built this league through plays exactly like that. He's easily been their most consistent performer.
Well, he's been splashing everything
to the body. We saw what happened in the 8th against Rosario. Now Castano feeds it to distance. Clips Charlo with the left hook. Charlo.
Ginobili against Collison. Duncan dishes to Splitter. And he banks in the way.
8 of the last 10 points at that end of the court have been scored on very high percentage shots.
It's not necessarily strategic, but it's just a matter of playing with more heart. Play hard, guys.
Redick with it. By Green. Redick passes to Jordan. And he banks in the lane.
He gets the attention of Charlie.
And I think a little bit of payback emotion on display, guys.
Well, he's responding to the intensity of his angle on the competitive nature of this game for everybody to see.
Well, it's clear he's not going back down to a challenge, and there's definitely some heated emotions out there. He's holding his ground, and that's why we've got the firework. Here's Sidney.
Shot is off. Great D that time from Thiago Splitter. Outside, Green. There's the triple. Rebounded by Reddick.
That was able to pierce through there a few times, but Castano now returning fire.
Very often. When he's open
Retreat,
like
trying to
that,
establish the jab.
lights out.
Avoids
Leonard attacking.
Castano continues to march forward as we head to round number 8.
Ginobili kicks to Duncan.
There's beautiful right hand and the left hook.
Lets it go from 14. And that one's good. Duncan's got 8 here in the quarter.
Smart move with that mismatch he's got.
You know what? That extra advantage sure pays off on the mid-range jump.
Castano, right hand clips the jaw. Now Charlo setting down.
Ginobili against Collison. The feed to Duncan.
His will and skill and power on Castano, who's forced to retreat. Now Castano doing it.
But Clippers need to get off the shot. Ginobili with the steal.
From Charlo, another one.
Floats one. The Clippers grab the miss. The biggest lead of the game was 24 points. And Reddick kicks to Duncan. Ejected by Duncan.
He's inside already.
Final minute.
Leonard against Collison.
Tonight's main event.
Leonard dishes to Duncan. Can't connect from short range. Los Angeles leading by 17.
Decision draw.
Collison, no good.
Great job defending the hoop there.
So important to have
By languishing on the ropes.
That's good.
That is well
The
the
Clippers
pressure.
have gone only 6 of 14 from the field in the fourth. Outside Jordan.
Collective round for
Got a piece of it. And now the fast break, Ginobili with the ball.
And there's a
It's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Well, Manu has been getting it done. He has 9 points and 5 assists. The assists have been coming for him, along with putting some numbers up from the foul line, too.
A very unselfish play from him. He's been really a tremendous factor in this game.
I mean, it's being placed at the right time. There it is. You put yourself in for the uppercut.
And he makes the first.
As great a player as Manu is on the court, his true impact on the NBA might not be felt until years from now. His success has captivated South America, and we should be seeing a lot of players influenced by him come into the NBA down the line.
Los Angeles making a switch here. Crawford's checked in. Both good from the line that time. And Clark, you mentioned Ginobili's influence abroad. Grew up in Bahia Blanca, Argentina, basketball hotbed down there. This is woven into the fabric of everything that he is.
You know, he does. He comes from a basketball family. Coaches, players. His brother played professionally in Europe, but just a tremendous player and human being. Manu Ginobili, obviously representing his country in the NBA.
Leonard, the open look. They get the rebound. And here is Paul. Jordan with a screen on Parker. Paul gets a screen from Griffin. Kicks it out to Crawford. Takes a 3. A rebound by the Spurs. Ginobili's got his 6th rebound on the night. For the 3. Ginobili can't get that one to fall. Clippers leading by 13. Here's Paul. Dishes it to Jordan. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
I tell you what, guys, I think most NBA fans can think back to last season when DeAndre Jordan had a dunk for the ages. I remember my son reached out to me by text and said, "Did you see what DeAndre did?" And it was major impressive.
No good on the free throw. And for DeAndre Jordan, spectacular dunks are nothing new. I read the other day a 9'6" standing reach. He can touch the rim on the tips of his toes.
I read that too. It's interesting. I mean, he's so big and yet so explosive off his feet. So I think he has the ability to be one of the best defensive players in the NBA.
He doesn't get the second one. Spurs trail by 13. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Splitter with the ball. He's against Jordan. Splitter, that's good. Clippers leading by 11. Now here's Paul. Outside for Jordan. Back to Paul. 6 on the shot clock. The 3 from Dudley. That is good. Dudley's got 10 points here in the second half.
Well, he's having a great half here. Exactly the opposite of the first.
Draw off the pick from Splitter. Ginobili the pass to Leonard. And out of bounds as Los Angeles gains possession.
Where was he going with that pass? I mean, that's just an awful turnover.
Here's Paul. Paul left side. Stolen. Ginobili, that's for 2. And the shot is long.
You know, that's a problem he has. I mean, not being able to knock down that open jumper. I think it happens far too often.
And then Griffin with the dunk.
And so here we go, just rolling along to the finish line in what has been a very confident-looking performance for the Clippers.
They found a great rhythm from long range.
They sure did, Kevin. Every time they left the man open deep, you get a good look at the basket. And they didn't hesitate, and the aggressiveness paid off.
And if you had to pick one player who would maybe take over everyone else in terms of picking up his game, it was, I think, that kind of a night for Chris Paul. And a big part of their success was his ability to keep the ball moving and finding guys when they would flash open.
Now Dudley. Kawhi Leonard missing from long range. 6 to shoot. Paul kicks to Jordan. Parker with the steal. And now in transition is Parker. Here we go. That one goes. Count it.
Yeah, he didn't even bother to wait around for any help on that break.
That was a one-man job all the way, Steve. He knew what to do with it and when.
Now here's Paul. Passes it to Jordan. No one near him. It's hauled in by Duncan. San Antonio's gone ice cold from three-point land, 0 of 4 since the start of the final quarter. It's Ginobili outside.
He's their top rebounder. He's doing an excellent job on the glass today.
Boy, I tell you what, I love the effort he's shown on the boards today, Steve. It's been fantastic.
Here's Paul. So the Clippers winning this one easily. How much to be critical of with this win, Clark?
Not at all. I mean, they showed up not just to play, they showed up to give great effort and to win, and they did both.
And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Thanks, Kevin. Well, Blake, tell us about the energy out there tonight. It seemed like there was a ton of intensity on the floor.
Yeah, that's something we talked about. You know, we talked about not being complacent, settling for jump shots, talked about getting to the hole and playing stuff on defense, and I thought that's what our guys did tonight.
Thanks for your time, Blake. Kevin, back to you.
All right, Doris, thank you. And for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports. Now, our Jordan player of the game, Chris Paul.